Hello, hello, and welcome to another Change of Directions. Don and I are fresh off an Audi A8 drive. We were down in Ingolstadt, and this is Audi's highest end car. And we couldn't help but ask the question, why should you buy an A8? Right? It's a gorgeous car, of course, but the Audi DNA is so strong that we could have kind of been sitting in an A7 or an A6 maybe. And Don and I had this big heavy debate, which we decided to do today with you guys and try to answer the question, why should you buy an A8? So Don, why?
Uh, it's a really good question. As you said, the car is marvelous. It's hard to find like any or to point out at anything that is not luxurious or not technology super advanced or something like that. It does everything that you would expect from a car in this price range. It has competition, though, of course. The S Class is the main competition, and also the BMW 7 Series, especially when the new one comes out now, which I just showed a couple of weeks ago. There is huge competition in the market. They all cost the same, basically. Like the base version of the cars are costing the same, around 100,000 euros, which is a lot of money. So I think what you expect if you get into a car and you pay 100K for it, you expect a lot of luxury and a lot of little technology quirks and features in the car, but you also expect something different. Like you want to get in a car and you want to sit down and you want to have the feeling this is like really something different from all the other cars of this manufacturer, for example. And you have this feeling when you get into an S class, for example. There is a huge upstep from the E class versions or the SUV versions, E class SUV versions, to the S class. You can feel when you get into the car, oh, this is an S class. The same as with BMW, although I haven't driven the 7 Series for a while now. And the problem with Audi is, as you said, is there actually, like, if you get into the car, there are little design features like the retractable air vents, exactly, and other stuff. But for example, when you look at the dashboard, it's the same that you can find in the A6, A7, even in the A4. So they're using the same one, and I don't know if I want to get in a car, I want to have the feeling, wow, this is different.
And to come to Audi's defense, because this is a debate, right? This isn't a new car. This is a facelift, right? So
Yes.
we saw the fundamental new platform of the A8 5 years ago in Valencia, packed with technology. All that technology is still there, right? So the ability for the car to kind of go up onto one side, if there's going to be a side impact, that's still built into the car. But it's 5 years old. But this is still a tech that is very high end, is very luxury, and isn't in a lot of these other high end vehicles. So it's not fair to compare the A8 to the S class because the S class is on a brand new platform just this year. But it is fair if you're the one with the $100,000 and you want to buy a car.
Yeah, I mean, with this refresh, they concentrated on the exterior and they changed a bit there. Also new are the LED matrix light. Not new, but they have an upgraded version of the LED matrix light, and also the OLED backlights, which are now digital. You can choose patterns that are shown on the backlights. It's a pretty impressive technology, I have to say. It's a little bit of a detail, but on the other hand, it's pretty impressive.
And it matters to those people who actually are able to tell the difference between Audis from year to year, right? They're like,
Yeah.
that's a 2001, that's 2018, right? Just by the design changes on the outside. There are these people that are just so able to do that, which is not me. I have a very hard time distinguishing year to year unless there's a massive change in, say, the design of the headlights or a dramatic change in the back, right? The tiny nuanced details, like these are for true Audi fans. And so you'll see like people I think will love this. So this is quite good. But then the matrix lights on the front, we've been seeing those in Audis for a couple of years now. And I recently drove the e-tron, which had them, and they are truly amazing. I mean, you can see as far as the road goes, right? And it really is a tech that all cars should just have. Now, what they've added on the A8, because you can get the matrix light in like I think all of the other Audis that are launched from now forward. You might have to pay extra, but you should be able to get them. Is they've added tracks, right? So on country roads, you'll be able to see like how to keep in the lane. If there's a accident ahead, you'll see a like a warning about this happening. And so there's a lot of little details that they've built in. Now these will only be available on the A8, but through a software update, should Audi choose to do this, you'll be able to get it on, I believe, most of the other cars that have the Matrix headlights of this generation of Matrix headlight.
Yeah, I mean it's a software upgrade. I mean because the Matrix Light, as you said, are in most of the other, or you can get it for most of the other cars. They're expensive, so if you buy it, not so expensive if you get them for the A8, because of course this is the highest car or the most expensive car that you can buy. Again, it's a very impressive piece of technology, and again the car itself, it drives gorgeous. It's really a luxurious, very well built car, of course. But then again, there is this question: why should I pay 100 upwards for a car now that has, for example, not level 3 capabilities? The S Class has it. I think it's a hard sell for Audi in the future if you compare it directly with the S Class.
Yeah, and I think that this is a little bit the challenge of being inside of the Volkswagen Group, where they tried to centralize the autonomous drive, because Audi was responsible for it, and then they centralized it into like Volkswagen, and so then it will go out to all the brands. So I think like that wasn't Audi's fault that they weren't able to keep up
No.
with the S Class on this. But then again, I think when we see the refresh, right? Like when the A8 gets that refresh in 3 4 years, maybe we're just guessing, we're
Yeah,
not sure.
around. Yeah.
um, then I think that we'll see a car that probably has the level 3 built in again, and that it can go toe to toe tech wise with say the S Class.
I mean, if they follow also their design path that they have chosen, especially with the e-tron GT, for example, it's going to be a gorgeous car that's coming out. And they showed the Grand Sphere concept, which should have elements or elements of this should be in the new A8. No, Audi by far again, the car is really gorgeous. And if you like Audi, and if you really want to have a luxury car, this is the car to get, because it has all the technology, it has all the luxury features, and it's still a very good car. But again, as I said, if you just look for the newest tech and the stuff, it's a hard sell.
All right, so what do you guys think? Do you have a reason why you should be buying the A8? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and have a great day, and see you for our next video.
Bye.
Bye.